so I'm gonna start.
Did you?
It's live.
All right.
It's going. It's
So-
recording. I hope.
Your time to shine.
Are we doing it now?
Yeah,
doing it.
everything is there. Let me just check that.
It's all good?
It's good. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I hope.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Okay. Bastard. You're listening to the Blender Institute Animation Foundation Cloud Studio podcast.
Brought to you.
Brought to you by the Blender Cloud. Are you suffering from a self-inflicted identity crisis? Choose a washing machine on the cloud. Go to cloud.blender.org. That's pretty good.
That
Yeah.
was pretty good. Yeah.
Joining us today is Francesco City,
Hello.
Andy Goraldi,
Hello.
Sibrin Stuvel,
Hello.
Paul Vasker,
Hello.
and I'm Hjalti Hjalmarsson. Here's your host, Francesco!
Actually,
Oh!
I decided to change my name.
Oh no! Damn it! Miguel Eduardo!
Well, welcome back to another episode, or the very first brand new episode of the Blender Animation Studio.
Episode 52.
Yeah, episode 52. Like, what are the other 51 episodes all about? We are really reinventing ourselves here, and it's probably a lot of things stay the same, but at the same time, we try to change. And we haven't done a podcast in a while. We wanted to do one just before the release of Agent 327, which is what this podcast would be mostly about. But then things were quite busy. And I remember like talking to the guys and saying like, we should do it because, after that, everything will be different. And in fact, like here we are actually recording this podcast in 360 degrees and, talking about making a feature film and stuff like that. So things are already different. And I thought it would have been fun to capture just that moment before. Otherwise, we just move on. And,
If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a chariot. No?
it's not a chariot.
It's the Italian saying. It's a wheelbarrow.
Yes.
Yes, that's the Italian saying. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, welcome everybody.
Welcome you.
And, well, what are we going to do?
I don't know.
Who are you again?
Like the podcast, we wanted to do it on Friday, the same day. Last Friday, actually exactly 1 week ago was the premiere at the Tuschinski, one of the nicest, if not the nicest cinema in Amsterdam.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, we planned on doing it that day. It didn't work. But the big day actually for outsiders was Monday when we published it online.
Yes.
How did it go?
Fairly well.
I would say it went fairly well. Actually, I think we could, like in this episode, I think it's nice to just tell the whole story. So even just what happened, like how was the actual premiere? Like how did we, what happened in the last couple of weeks in general before we got there?
The suffering, you mean?
Yeah. That led to the great
The happy
gratification,
ending.
which
Okay.
that then led to the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
It's like an arc that starts from low, goes up, and then it goes low again. And then we have
But Francesco, the premiere of what?
of Agent 327, the secret, Operation Barbershop.
Operation Barbershop.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a thing with names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't stick with them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think, of course, the interesting part is how we wrap the project up. But the weeks before have been quite intense because we were mostly working on, getting there to as close as 100% as we possibly could, which involved lots of work on the render wrangling and on the polishing of the images for making the final film. So
And reanimating shots and fixing
Yeah.
intersections.
Some of that happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, like in case someone is wondering what happens at the end of the film,
Panic, a lot of panic.
You're like, okay, all the shots are animated, all the shots are rendered, the movie's packed and ready to go. Turns out,
Well, it was sort of like that. It was just noisy and a lot of imperfections. So, but if we had to, like, if we had a gun on our head,
We did, right?
and yeah,
A
which
Nerf
we
gun?
did. Yeah, actually, it was a Nerf gun. We could have released a crappier version of the movie, like noisy and stuff. But we could.
Yeah.
I
thing is that you want to make it nice.
There was always a version of the film. I think that's what I like so much about this one, is that we always had a render for everything. We just could have made it better. And we did. Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, we've done it in the past, I think. La Amigos, we had a version that it was ready to release, but it didn't have like Coro getting damaged or like those secondary things that but we had a version-ish.
Yeah.
Thanks to Render Street and stuff, we could render it.
It's so good to be able to just go in there, see everything, and then just make decisions based on that. Like, okay, what can we really improve and how can we knock this out of the park? Make it really awesome.
Yeah, if you had only like one day, and then that's also nice because we had some render tweaks or we had some noise issues that needed to be fixed, and you could really really prioritize. Like in some cases, it was really needed attention. And then okay, in the context of the film, once everything is rendered, is this sequence more important? Is this one shot of 20 frames that is really noisy in this corner going to even be seen? And in fact, I was finding myself many times reviewing renders coming through the farm. You really have all the time in the world to look at each single frame. You're like, okay, with this frame, next frame. You're like, wow, so much noise. Like if somebody would be frame by frame in this movie, they would find noise in some places. But then, like, this shot is like the camera is panning. You see this for like 3 frames. Yeah, we could just spend 1 hour to fix it, but maybe it's more important to fix something else. And so then you take those decisions. And at the same time, while we were fixing things, Hjalti was also keeping himself busy because when you frame by frame this stuff or during the color grading too, the guys are also looking at frames. Like, what does this hand do?
Yeah, it was definitely one shot in particular where there's a lot of grabbing going on. And I had totally forgotten that when I was animating one of the shots where Boris kind of grabs the agent and flings him around up to a wall and they start punching each other, I had animated just about everything, but I had skipped like properly animating him grabbing the suit. So the actual grab itself, I couldn't do it with the rig in the current state. And I couldn't figure out a way of doing it in that moment. And I needed to just move on and go to the next shot. So I figured, well, we're going to figure something out later on. This is relatively early in early stages of animation.
Because there weren't enough controls for it to animate that jacket properly.
There weren't enough controls for that particular area. What do you call it? The lapel? Yeah, the lapel itself was kind of stitched together in a certain way with the rest of the jacket. So it was kind of flush with it. And I wanted him to grab in between with the fingers. Yeah. And I couldn't. And they have these big ass sausage fingers with these big ass hands. And they just couldn't get them in between. Anyway, I just kind of skipped the entire thing. And I figured, okay, future Hjalti will have to worry about this. Yeah. And I will figure it out. And I think I wrote a note down. And then it got lost in an ocean of notes. And all these
if only we had software to have notes.
Yeah, and then later on,
animation to shots.
Weeks later, I adapted to a tract. But at that point, my ocean of notes had kind of gone away from me.
Like it was literally an ocean of notes. It was like a little sea of papers on your desk.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Yeah.
But I remember you made a pass for yourself and you went through a track because at some point there were all these notes from you in my lighting notes.
Yeah.
But that was later on. It was like for the last minute fixes. And I was like, okay, Hjalti, whatever you write it all caps.
Yeah. I was told specifically to write all caps, but it made me feel bad because when you're like tired and you're working on lighting and you think this is done, and then all of a sudden you see this asshole.
Please fix this intersection.
Yeah, exactly.
Please re-render.
So I tried to write everything in caps, but have it be funny. So it's like, you can only read this as a loud voice right now, so please fix this. Or OMG, you gotta fix this. In any case, I saw this thing last minute where I just realized that everything has been rendered and it looks beautiful, but his hand is just not grabbing onto the thing and it's just intersecting constantly. So I tried my best. I made shape keys. Those did not work at all. You might think that would work, but really just with the way the rig was made, just kind of, it seemed to work when you're in the rig file itself and you kind of get it in the right place, roughly. And then you go into the animation file. And just because of the way things were deformed, it would go always in a weird direction or would flatten out or not be responsive. So I ended up just cheating it as much as I could just from that camera angle. And there are intersections there. You will see it, but it's not the intersections that you would expect. And it's more forgiving. So it's not 100%, but it's more forgiving. And I stayed here one late night trying to border render all these different shots, and then Francesco had to like take them and put them in. Thanks for that, buddy.
Yeah, it was actually the night of your birthday.
Oh no, that was my birthday. Yeah, that was my evening. Yeah, I spent, and if it weren't for Andy's computer, my computer was so slow. I think at maybe 8 o'clock, I calculated that it would take me until 6 in the morning with my own computer to border render the rest of it. And I figured, okay, let's try Andy's computer.
My computer was just sitting there.
It was just sitting there. I wasn't sure if you were rendering something or whatnot.
I was being lazy and I was at home.
Yeah, there was nothing open in it. So I was like, try your computer. And all of a sudden, I got done before midnight.
54 cores, man.
And then, yeah. It's epic. It's so epic.
55 threads.
Yeah. Oh, baby. But that was my birthday. It was great.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. We're going to do a birthday podcast, but we didn't.
Yeah, that was also, so many things. But, this is pretty much, this should give you a glimpse of how the last days before releasing a film are. It's just like this. And the days blend into each other. You don't know what day it is anymore because every day you have to do more fixes and more, renders.
It's just T minus something.
Exactly. So then okay, we're gonna get to this date. But it was also quite good because we had our pre-premiere scheduled a few days before the online premiere. So that allowed us really to have this double deadline and to really try to get things done before Monday. Yeah. Because on Friday we wanted to premiere this. And actually we did this in a cinema and we wanted to have the highest quality possible for a cinema projection, which meant making a DCP, a digital cinema package, which is a special way of bundling video so that then it can work and be streamed by a cinema projector. Is a standard in cinema projections worldwide, and usually you want to test this with the cinema projector not 5 minutes before the projection, but the day before. Like it's just a standard. The cinema would tell you, okay, well, you want to screen something, well, come here with the DCP the day before we ingest it. So we acquire it, we put it in our storage, and then you can play it. So we had to be there the day before. So it was an extra deadline before that. So we really needed to have the movie as good as possible by then. And and somehow we managed. So in the afternoon of Thursday, I went with Sergey to the Pathé Tuschinski, this very beautiful cinema in the center of Amsterdam. We did a test, and then actually me and Sergey had our premiere, the pre-premiere, because they actually screened it. So like just to watch it to make sure that the sound is okay, that the video is okay. So I watched it also in the empty cinema. It was very cool. And then after that, of course, there was a whole day afterwards to print a poster and get the final things ready, waiting for Tom to come back from the States because he was traveling, and getting everything ready for the day. And then the date arrived and we had to go there, and it was quite good. No, like there was Martin Lodewijk, the original author of the film, and then friends and families and everyone. And how did you guys experience? Because for me, it was the second time already. How was it for you? And I had the lights on when I watched it the first time. So how was it for you to see it the first time in the cinema? Like with the lights off and with the intro from Tom, with the curtain opening very slowly.
That was great.
That was amazing, especially with that cinema is so huge and so great that the chairs are super comfortable. You have a lot of leg room, and you're on the ground looking up to something that you've previously just seen really small on your relatively big monitor, but still, it's a very, very awesome experience to see that, and especially with the sound. The sound in that cinema was just really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sander did a good job at making the 5.1 Dolby Surround thing version of it. It was great.
Yeah, and then just every note hits you in the face. When the last moment happens, your spine just starts tingling. It's great. But leading up to that, I don't remember anything, because up to that there was so much stuff happening that you don't really, like, you're standing there, you're sitting down, and you realize, oh, now it's the premiere.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's like another thing that is really fun is, we've been into that cinema to watch other films.
Yeah.
Like, I think the last animated film we watched there was Moana, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe, so you're used to see that frame with other films in it that is not your own. So actually seeing your own work there, it's quite cool. So, and I think that the people that were there also liked it. It was very nice. And then we went to a cafe and we were hanging out, and then we had a crew dinner, and that was also very cool. There aren't a lot of pictures of the event.
Yeah.
Actually, most of, like, I think everything stayed quite private.
Yeah.
There's an
Looking
awesome
at you,
GoPro
Hjalti.
video from you, right?
Yeah, I at some point though, I think during the screening and during like kind of the little speech afterwards and stuff where everybody got up and all that stuff, I have a video of that from my point of view, from my hips point of view, I guess. Did not review that at all. I haven't looked at it, so I'm not sure if it's good or not. But yeah, maybe we check out some of the footage and see if we can put something together. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but Sybren, you made a lot of photos, right?
Yeah.
I made a few photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 17 that made the cut.
Cool.
They made the cut. Everything else was censored.
We're talking
Yeah.
about a professional photographer
Yeah,
here,
of
so those are 17 awesome pictures.
Yeah.
Wow. But it was interesting too. It was my first premiere, the first Blender movie I was part of the crew of. So it was pretty cool to stand there and be really part of the crew.
Cool.
Also a bit weird because I'm not an artist, so I'm
Okay, Mr. Photographer.
okay. I wasn't a 3D artist on this project.
And drummer, sorry.
And drummer, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's not really, I mean, don't kill me.
The singer, though.
The singer, he's good.
Yeah. Mommy, when I grow up, I want to be a drummer. Sorry, son, you can't do both.
Nice. Yep.
But yeah, it was nice.
Awesome.
Like it. Yeah. Let's do another one.
No. Never again.
Nope. What about you, Pablo?
What?
You've been quiet. You've been...
Yeah. I yesterday I had something like this, but I spoke for 1.5 hours. So
Did you see my hearts?
I saw your heart. Thank you very much.
What are we talking about here?
You did a live streaming, right?
Yeah. After work, actually, I came back to the institute at 10. I started a live stream for the Spanish audience, and it was quite fun.
Yeah.
So, but 1.5. Here, at least you can get other people talking, but 1.5 hour talking.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was fun. I showed some of the files, and it was quite interesting. And then Hjalti left a heart in the.
Dude, it was so funny. I just late at night, I'm going to sleep, I'm in bed, and I'm just going over my Facebook feed, and all of a sudden I see Pablo's face, and I'm like, what is this? Oh, he's doing the live streaming thing. I click it, and it's just you being adorable, talking in Spanish, and every now and then I will be hearing like agent or 327 or something, like just a glimpse of words that I understand.
Yeah, I forgot to translate it. 327.
Yeah.
Like 3, what the fuck?
327. But I saw a little heart button. I was like, no way. And I click it, and I see my face pop up and then change into a heart.
Yeah.
And it was
that was
adorable.
you.
Yeah. So for 2 minutes, I was like, clicking the thing constantly just to see your face and see if you would come up with a reaction.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But you kept a poker face. It was very professional.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's,
He sees hearts every time.
Oh, of course.
All the time.
No, actually, I actually very nice. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I did this thing about the Agent 327 just to see like what that part of the community and they love it. The response was great. Everybody's super happy about it. They want to see a feature film. So I don't know.
Cloud.
Join the actually I did a bit of shameless, like I didn't mean to do it, but it's like, hey, here's a file, but the way it's on the cloud. And then how do you do the slow-mo? Well, it's on the cloud.
Smooth.
Yeah. But I didn't mean to, but yeah, actually everything is on the cloud. So that's all another part of the premiere that actually I don't know. Yeah, we were talking about the premiere. You asked me what was I doing?
Yeah, what did you think of the premiere?
What did I do for the premiere? Nothing. I got a black shirt and just ate a lot of food. Now, before that, there is that other side of the premiere, which is making all the PR stuff. And besides also rendering, like the week before with Francesco, we went through the whole movie with Attract. and just try to render everything, and then border render, and then masking, and then at the last minute we found out that the beams at the end in the last scene of the movie,
that was,
so there is an elevator and there are beams there, and they didn't have a material. Well, they had a material, but it seems that at some point one of the node groups failed to link. So Cycles or Blender, what it does is just unplugs that. So then you have a material output now that is not plugged to anything.
Ouch.
So it's even worse than not having a material, because no material means gray, diffuse.
Yeah.
No output, that output empty means the void.
Black
There's
hole.
black. So we were thinking, it's like, is it worth it? And how many shots? And you actually see it in like 8 shots or so. So you have to re-render everything, but not the character, because he's in the middle and the beams are on the side. So that was an ordeal by itself, just to border render the whole sequence.
On
So
the
we
left
split it.
and the right.
Yeah, on the left and the right. But we split it with Andy and Francesco, and we just, okay, you do this shot, I do this shot, and then we just
and this
border.
it's really something that it takes like a while to notice, and we narrowed it down. Okay, like there are a couple of shots where you really need it, but then we're like, come on, we can be here like one evening, a few hours, and just
We did it.
fix it, and then we just did it.
It was like 8 or so, and it's like, okay, should we do it? Okay, order pizza. We did order pizza, and then we sit down, made the border render, send it to the local farm, and in the end, it's like, yes, it's worth it.
And I think it was worth it,
It was
because you
worth
can
it.
see these very nice blue highlights with the neck contrasted to the yellow lamps that are in front. So it's really nice coloring effect, and you can really see it coming together in the final grade as well. So I think it was worth it, and it wasn't really a crazy amount of work. And it's just funny that we never noticed until the end, because it's a low light situation, and there were so many other things going on.
Keep your eye on
I think
noise.
we didn't notice until the color grade came in, and the guy said, "Hey, if we boost this image, the thing is still totally black."
Yeah, actually, like I noticed maybe some days before when we were exporting the edit in TIFF with the log color space applied, because that makes the images very with the blacks very lifted, so everything looks bright gray. And you could totally see those pieces of the image completely black. And I was like, okay, we need to investigate this. And then lots of stuff happened. And then that came back, and then we fixed it. So that was funny.
That was great.
Yeah, and indeed, like after the premiere, there was like, most of the work that Pablo, that you were doing was preparing for Monday, actually.
Yeah, all the, bringing back the Asian 327 website, which it was linking to the cloud. Now it's its own thing with just the video there, and then a link to the cloud or blog and stuff. So it was making that. Then this identity problem we have, so we had to change the blender.institute to blender.studio, which is the same website. It just changes the name, which is like happens here. Just change the name. And just putting the agent everywhere, cutting, making little images for media, social media stuff. And just so many things that you don't think about.
Poster.
I gave it a try, and then I gave it to Andy.
Yeah.
But besides that, just web stuff.
I think the one nice thing we did was to wait, not release the film on Monday morning. So we gave ourselves a weekend after the premiere, so that actually the weekend could be used to final tweaks, really, if there was something important to do. And one of these things was actually the credits. So that was something that Andy started working on, and then we had the whole Monday also to really wrap it up, upload it, test it, and make sure that our press release would be reaching all the outlets. We've been trying to organize this with a little bit more of advance compared to how we released, for example, Cosmos Laundromat. Because you work on a project for almost 1 year, you don't want to just put it online and be like, "Ta-da, it's here online." Actually, there is some things that is good to do before the film goes online. But usually you get so busy that you only care about making the film look good. And so on Monday, mostly it was the credits and repackaging, re-encoding, doing the final super high quality encode for the film and uploading it. And he did a great thing with the credits. The one that you can see in the film.
For the DCP, we had static title cards and
Typos.
And some typos in there. And then for the real premiere online for for you guys. We thought we wanted to have something a bit more dynamic with the music that fits and that kind of brings a bit resemblance to the comics and shows you the heritage and everything. So we decided to make this little sequence with moving backgrounds and stuff, just taking from the comics.
Yeah,
that was
so
fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
that was Andy. So nice.
Yeah,
and it was also nice just at the right at the end where we have like the music's fading out, everything's going away, the text is going away, and we just have this one glimpse of Boris and the agent fighting each other.
Yeah,
as you know, and then it's nice focus, and then it kind of goes away. Yeah, it's a cool little homage. Yeah,
which we actually did in 3D for Annecy last year. So the hardcore followers will.
Yeah. Really early versions of the rig and the characters and all
everything.
That stuff. Yeah.
Not PVR, no filmic. Yeah. Those were the days.
So that was a year of work, you guys.
Yeah. Well,
a year.
We don't count 2014.
So is there anything like, I'm not sure, is it the right time to ask that? Because I'm curious, because is there anything like, what do you carry away from this project? What is the most interesting, important lesson that you've learned from this?
More animators.
I mean, personally, I need
rigor.
What personal lesson have you learned from this?
Francesco?
No lesson was learned. We are gonna do it all over again.
Okay. Oh snap!
I don't know actually, because personally, I think you learn. I learned a lot about like we were doing this project, always thinking of, okay, if this works out, we are gonna do this bigger, no? And in the past, when we were doing previous project, it was more, we have to survive and deliver this project. Already doing that will be an achievement. And this project was more about, of course we can do this project, but how would we do it when it's bigger? And I found myself in many moments being like, this thing that we are doing right now, it wouldn't work if it was bigger. And being aware of that at all times, or most of the time, was frustrating, because you're like, if we were doing the film now, we would be completely like, it would be so bad. Like
future us will solve this.
Yeah. Well, you know, at least it wouldn't be so bad because you know it's doable, but you'd be like, I wish for this to be, you know, if this was better, then when we make the film, it would be so much better. And so, you know, it's like a constellation of these little moments, and especially from, you know, the pipeline point of view, but also just seeing how we work together as a team and how things could have worked, you know, with the different people coming on board, when Colin joined, when Kjartan joined, when Bo was here, when the team got a little bit bigger. It was those were the things that I was thinking about the most. So I don't think I have something that I can point to in particular, but I think the thing that I took away is like much more awareness of what a future big project would be done in this way, which I think was very, very valuable.
Cool. Hjalti.
Oh man, I thought we were going clockwise. I really was thinking about it while I was talking, and I'm drawing a blank really. On a personal level, I'm not sure. I got pretty burned out at the end, like really burned out, and I'd already kind of got a bit burned out after the whole Cosmos Laundromat and Glass Half, and then immediately Lamigos and all that stuff. And this was a little bit more like that, but it was even more because you have more responsibility for a longer period of time.
You were a director too. It's not just animation that has to turn out right.
Yeah, and then you're working on the layout, and then you're working on the choreography, and then you're working on this or that or whatever it is. And you always feel like you're dropping balls all over the place. You're just trying to, you know, kind of keep up. And it's only going to be as good as how much you dilute yourself. Spread yourself thin. So I was spreading myself pretty thin at some points. Really just weekends disappearing and evenings disappearing. And then you just kind of look back and it's like, oh, okay, those months went by and I did nothing with my personal life at all. Just advanced this project thing.
But doesn't co-directing helps alleviate a little bit of that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Like if definitely. Colin wasn't there, it would have been probably more.
It wouldn't have been as good, and it would
have more work because all the layout,
definitely. I would have less sanity also if Colin hadn't been here. but yeah, definitely. And you know, you kind of, it was great getting Colin here. And you can also kind of decide on, you know, because we're many of us are wearing many hats. So you kind of figure out what are your strengths and weaknesses, and then you can kind of hook up with somebody that has strengths on other areas, and you can still collaborate, but you know that if they do the first pass, or if they do like a second pass, it's going to be stronger for the end result. And at the end of it, I was burning out on trying to catch up with all the animation and do all the animation tweaks. I saw there was no time for me left to, for example, think about the color grade. So that was that ended up being totally delegated just to Colin, and just huge props to him and Sean, the guy that worked with him on it. So there's a lot of those little things where just one person has to just dive into that area because the other one just doesn't have time for it at all. Yeah, I don't think I didn't even make a single comment on the color grade because they were doing such a good job. I didn't want to mess up what they were doing at all. What about you, Andy?
I was actually thinking about this yesterday because I mean this year has been pretty intense.
Yeah.
And in many ways, like from every project you do, you learn different things because you kind of learn to apply that kind of stuff for the next one and then do something different a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think there's probably two things that I've taken away from this. And the first is probably communication and collaboration. They're like for you in order to collaborate with other people, communication is everything, and that is what brings a project to like makes it shine or can bring it down.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's more personal, I didn't really notice the power that you have over a movie with lighting so much. I mean, you light everything and it looks like a thing. You can influence the mood and everything, of course. But lighting for me, it became really like a sculpting medium for like, yeah, lighting is sculpting. I think that's the artistic thing I take away from this, because you define shapes and everything. You highlight characters. You shift focus and that kind of stuff. And that's a pretty powerful tool. Yeah, I think that's the main thing I carry away from this. I never looked at lighting so much as with this one.
Yeah.
But this is also because of how you were doing lighting previously. Like on a technical level, you were relying on different techniques and also like using more compositing, for example, or what is the process?
The thing is that with this movie, we had some pretty strong challenges. For example, the barbershop lighting is very, very difficult because you have light coming in essentially from this one direction, which is the window, but we're also filming from that one direction, and that makes everything look flat. So how do you get into making an interesting image just with that constraint? And then making the lighting seem simple, even though we have at most probably 20 lights in one scene. That's the hardest thing ever. You have to make the lighting seem transparent and not be like, hey, someone lit this thing with lights. It's like, it just has to happen naturally and organically. And I think that was the biggest challenge with this, because with Lamigos, it was a sun lamp and for most of the outdoor stuff. Yeah. Of course, I'm simplifying it, but for Cosmos Laundromat, we also had the famous 2 sun lamps, and this is the first really heavily interior-based movie that we did, I think.
Yeah,
like
I think
in cycles at least. I mean, Tears of Steel was a big nightmare because everything was interior, and now everything is interior, but we had to do it throughout the entire film.
And still in Tears of Steel, of course, there was the dome, which was like a very big interior, but because of the mixture of live action and having like the possibility to comp a lot, it was mostly about trying to fake that feeling. It was really another level because it's really an interior. So with the cycles of back then, I don't know if you how this movie would have even looked like. Probably not like much, I guess.
And with this, we used branch path tracing heavily for the first time, and we saw its the good things and the bad things.
Yeah.
And we had to deal with a lot of complicated settings and stuff. So yeah, lighting equals sculpting.
Good. It's a good lesson. Yeah.
Pablo hasn't said anything.
So
what are we talking about here?
yeah, exactly. What
did you learn?
do you learn? That as a lighter, I'm a great web developer.
Oh, ouch.
Notice that.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, not really. Actually, towards the end, I don't know. I was blinded. There were so many people and directions you can go with the lighting, and this thing will have it. So I took care of lighting the first few shots. Not really, actually. There was some lighting set up there, so I had to copy it and make it work. But yeah, I don't know exactly. Somehow the movie ended, and then I don't really. I think I will stop doing 3D for a while and focus on the Blender 2.8 now. Well, I mean, that's still 3D. That counts as 3D. But yeah, the artistic part maybe, and just focus on like the tools and stuff now that developers are here. And yeah, and Blend and yeah, everything else basically.
It was quite interesting, the kind of legacy that we have now regarding the lighting in like both exterior and interior of the barbershop. Because really, if you think about it, it's in the beginning, the ideas that we had were in a particular kind of fashion. And then there were experiments with that, but then experiments that were a little bit more tangential to it. And then it kind of shifted throughout the course of the movie. So it would be interesting to see a little video where, you know, one of you guys or both of you guys have like a bit of the legacy and just talk about how this setup really changed the feeling of it, or what was the idea from one to another.
Yeah, and we constantly struggled that. I mean, I remember we had meetings about the like how does the outside feel, because the outside informs the interior because the light is coming in from the outside. And but at the same time, that transition needs to work. So yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, actually, that is maybe one thing that I kind of learned and put in practice in the first shot when it's just trying. At first, everything was very orange. Like for some reason, there was a test that was done like last year, and everything was very orange, and we stick with that for so long. And then at some point, we had to like rethink it, or like because it was literally bad.
Yeah.
So then trying to rethink and just trying to see, okay, what's the important part of this shot is the agent. We need to focus on the agent, but also you want to look at nice Amsterdam. So play with complementary colors for that. Just start blue and then go orange as a typical one, or go pink, or like something completely different.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's something. Then for other shots was very, very complicated. It was really, I don't know, I struggled with lighting of some other shots. I think that my favorite's maybe the first shot.
Yeah, it was beautiful with the matte painting and all the different buildings.
It took a while. Actually, I just went to a rooftop here in a hotel here in Amsterdam. It's called the Amrath Hotel. Went to the rooftop and took some pictures and then stitched them.
That is a very fancy hotel.
It's a 5-star hotel here in Amsterdam. Yeah. There was an Instagram meeting.
Wow.
And I went there with the Instagram group.
Yeah.
And they take you places to take pictures, you know. And then one of the places was the Amrath Hotel. So happened. It was perfect for for like everything is at a distance where it would make sense in Amsterdam, because we wanted to have this matte painting of a part of Amsterdam, which is like the Jordan, or that area that is very old, but you end up like the church, the main church that is there in the matte painting is the Westerkerk. Yeah. If you take a picture from there, it's like next to you. So it can't be a matte painting that is too far away, because like you need to have some distance for that building to look like it's far away.
It needs to be Amsterdam, but it needs to be abstract enough that you don't really see where you are.
Like far away Amsterdam, and that was a bit tricky. So actually, that place was great. It's nearby the central station, so everything is still the old part of the city, but it's a bit more far away. So
it's quite gorgeous. I bike there every day past it.
The building, that's it's very Amsterdamse whole. This style. Yeah. And the interior is awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to go in there sometimes, take some HRIs.
Oh, maybe you can go and ask. They're pretty cool, actually. With nice. Relaxed.
Yeah. I remember there was, what is the rapper's name? The guy with the thrift shop? Macklemore, yeah. And he did Downtown. And then there was another song that he did, which was like Get Down on the Dance Floor or something. I don't remember. But in any case, the video of it, the music video, it starts with kind of this dolly move, camera move towards that building. So really? So they came, or at least the director or whoever, second unit maybe, came here to Amsterdam and shot that specific building outside. And I just immediately had the gut feeling, Amsterdam, you know. Yeah. And of course, it's supposed to be happening somewhere else, but they chose that building specifically, so it's quite beautiful.
Nice. That was also one of the biggest challenges with this movie, because Ton was always saying, "Make it Dutch, make it Amsterdam." Like, what is it? Yeah. And in the end, that's what people like. People really go on YouTube and say that it feels like Amsterdam, it looks like Amsterdam, it feels Dutch.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that worked. That's a great achievement.
Yeah, I'm still impressed by because a part of the production, I was actually the most of the production, I was in the back in the cave with Sergey programming away at stuff. So I didn't really see the day-to-day artistic work that was being done in this area.
Yeah.
And then at the weekly, I heard that Kjartan had spent days resizing the bricks of the secret lair because they were not Dutch enough.
Wow, that happens.
The constant, that's a topic with Ton though, because we actually I just forced Ton to go to a building and measure the bricks, like take a little thing, and then he just went there, took the measurement, and then I went back to Kjartan and with that measurement, and we checked it. And the bricks were the same size, yet Ton was insisting that the bricks were not looking Dutch enough. So we just ended up making them slightly smaller, and then he was happy with it.
Wow. Isn't it interesting, though? Because it becomes his perception of it.
Yeah.
And he's arguing for it.
Totally.
But you're not talking about the same thing anymore, you know.
That's also one of the biggest things from this project. The perception and interpretation of things is so, like, it depends really on the person. Who are you talking to? Yeah. Because in a way, we were making a vision from Ton's perspective of the Agent 327 world, because that's how he connects to it, because he read it in his childhood. It's also really interesting because with a feature film, you're going to have a director and you have to transfer the director's vision into something.
It's going to clash in an interesting and fun way.
Again, communication.
Yeah, exactly. It's the key. Yeah, I think we talked about it. We had a mini postmortem, and we talked about one of the things that is very important to do when you have any kind of a conflict come up, where it's two different viewpoints on a particular thing, is to have that thing in front of you so you can talk about it and point to it. Because sometimes what is happening is you think you're talking about the same thing, but you're not quite. And it's not until you see it together that you understand that.
And then you remember something wrong. And
exactly.
Someone says, "Oh, but it was like this." No, I remember it exactly. But you never actually see it. So
it's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to keep asking Sybren, because you said, you were working more on the software and on the pipeline side, and then you were seeing indeed this, artistic struggle going on for many, many months. But even then, like, how was the experience for you? What did you take away from it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, it's so cool to see everybody working on the same movie and to see it on a day-by-day basis rather than every other weekly, like I did with Lamigos and Cosmos Laundromat. Like, to be here really every day and see it going on, it's very interesting.
And helping with like the selection add on the selection.
Yeah, selection sets.
Yeah.
Very
Those things
And
really.
flamenco. You had to
flamenco.
like you had to get so many bugs from me. Hey, I pressed this button, but then nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And like, this is also what I expected working here to be. That you add something to Blender or you fix a bug somewhere, and then immediately you guys use it and are happy with it.
Or not.
Or not.
And then I fix it until you guys are happy. And to have that direct impact on the happiness of your colleagues, that is so gratifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Very supportive.
And also I for a flamenco part I did in a language I didn't really know. I never really made a proper project with Go. It's a compiled language that gives you certain certainties because it's compiled that you don't get with Python. A lot of stuff we do is in Python. So it was really an experiment and a bit of a risk to start using something that new, at least for me personally.
Yeah. I'm kind of maybe misremembering. Was that from Google?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So it's really made for server-side stuff. So that's why I also used it for the Flamenco Manager.
Cool.
And I really like it. I really like how it's turned out. And now also a few months later, how easy it is to fix certain things or to add something to it and then redeploy. It helps a lot.
Nice.
And actually, this is one of the things that we've been, we can maybe talk a bit later about it, but big development happened in Flamenco and all our Blender Cloud infrastructure. And we've been mentioning this like hundreds of times in all the episodes of the podcast, and half of the time you couldn't be there because you were actually working on it. But that's like one of the big, next to the big Blender improvements, especially Flamenco these past weeks, really, when you started wrapping it up and really getting into something that can be used also outside of the studio, like seeing that come together for me has been really exciting. So I'm really looking forward for the next, couple of weeks where we hopefully are able to roll this out for everyone. And that will be like one of the biggest outcomes of this project, like something completely new that wasn't there before that then will become available. And I'm very happy because it's, from the past project, this was an evolution. We really spent time thinking about it and rethinking it and doing it again. And now it's at the stage where it can be shared with people, and it's quite unique. So I think that was a very good thing that came out of this project.
This is flamenco, you mean?
Yeah, like flamenco and Attract, all are this part of the pipeline. I think we really started to understand how to do this.
And the first one to be shared will be flamenco.
Flamenco.
Yes, it's a beta or like.
There's currently a closed beta going on with one tester.
Very limited beta, yeah.
Yeah, like a super exclusive premium unstable beta.
And the past 2 weeks I've been working on getting a permission system in there so that it's not a binary. You can either not use it or you can access everything from everybody everywhere.
Basically you're an admin or you can't.
Yeah, exactly. So I think first we have to do a closed beta with a handful of people that all can then run their own little or big, I don't know, whatever they want, render farm and hook it up with the Blender Cloud. So
nice.
Yeah,
cool.
I think it's pretty close.
Cool.
Yeah. Like next week after, something like that.
Speaking of stuff coming up, we have
a segue.
Yeah, and he's gone. We got the poster. So I made this kind of hand poster, him in a chair thing, and
the one that hopefully everyone has seen by now.
Yeah, probably kind of sick of. But Andy made it look pretty much. I made it gorgeous as it is right now.
Thank you so much.
You. But I also did 2 others, and you've been making them pretty.
They're
kind of these extra
alternate posters.
Yeah. And that's kind of coming up later, maybe next week or something.
Yeah. I'm rendering the second one right now. I've done the first one, and I'll just need to do some touch-ups on it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we started sharing some of the open content that was produced during the film. Namely, Andy has been uploading half of the film assets and shots and characters on the cloud. and they are out there. So that's really great.
If you can think of something, just well, we can also just pack it up. But for now, the shot files. At first, I thought let's just share a couple because they are huge.
Yeah.
If you just pack them, each and every single one of them is like 900 megs max. So it's a bit. We have to make choices what we can upload because then people are going to complain, oh, they're so big, I can't download everything. So, but eventually we can also just put the whole repository.
Yeah, we are thinking of a way to share the whole thing. But I think right now we have a pretty good selection of a lot of stuff. And the main assets, especially the reusable ones and the main workflows are covered.
Yeah. All the characters are there. The props are there.
Yeah.
So how big would the repository be if somebody wanted to get all of it?
I think right now it's about 60 gigs.
No, it's
probably
less. Well, without the caches, I think it's more like 20.
Yeah, without the caches. That's the problem. We have to make a decision whether we want to ship the caches with it or not. Yeah. Because the caches are kind of big.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's we're gonna work on it in the future, and it was already quite satisfying to just be like, okay, the movie's done and everything is already packed and is out there for everyone, and that's kind of unprecedented because even for Cosmos Laundromat, it took a while before we were able to bundle everything, compress it, make the DVDs and stuff, and this time it was much more organized.
And then you have to make sure that the Hjalti is wearing his uniform.
my Blender uniform, yes.
Nice. And then we have to make sure, of course, that all like the people open the files and they don't just see like 10 editors open with images or something weird where you don't understand what it is.
Yeah. And
so that takes some time to prepare.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, indeed, some walkthroughs and explanations, and that's what Pablo was mentioning earlier on about the streaming he was doing, which is yesterday, Pablo, you recorded an explanation of how the city shot is set up, and that's really...
Well, that's a different thing. That's yesterday I did a tutorial as well for the cloud, where it's like 20 minutes. I opened the shot. I show a little bit of the legacy of the shot, and which everything is on the cloud. Actually, I was like, okay, I need to review this. We have on our server, we have our weeklies folder where we just go through the stuff. But actually, you can just search it on the cloud. So I just went to the cloud, wrote the number of the shot, the name of the shot, which is 0101_B. And
sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, it's for 01 for the sequence, 01 for the scene.
Yeah.
B is the second take that was used. And there I can follow the progress. Then I open the file, go around it, and then I disable all of the lighting, so it's completely pitch dark. And then I go one by one, enabling like
that's
fog
so cool.
and the lighting, and it's actually quite fun. Yeah. And I even like how to fight some of the noise, what we did with Sergey, for example.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
That's really cool.
I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, more of this content will come in the future.
Yeah.
So
if you have seen it, please leave a comment and let us know if you liked it or not. It was fun to do.
Yeah, with those kind of scenes, it's so fun to see the lighting setup be dissected by only showing this light and then talking about it, and then only showing that one, talking about it, and then let's see both of them together. All right, now we're talking. It's like watching a chef making something,
Yeah.
But a chef that can go back in time and show the individual ingredients and how they make. I don't know. Okay,
okay, stop there. All right. It's a great analogy, but
kind of fell apart.
Yeah. I think at this point I would like to talk about how the release. So it was Monday, 6 p.m. Amsterdam time, and the thing went live. Our barbershop. We published the barbershop
because we also did another. We had the brilliant idea of also doing a live stream while we pressed the publish button.
And that was, I think, overall good. Like, there are always little technical glitches, but it was so nice to hang out with the people. They were, a lot of supporters and cloud subscribers waiting with us. And we at least thought, okay, let's, start the streaming a bit before. And then we, whatever happens, we have a bit of buffer. And I think overall it went fine because we published, we planned to release the thing at 6. And I think at 6:05 or something like that, 5-10 minutes later, the video was actually live.
I think even before, we were actually waiting. Remember, I saw 58 and you were in your computer.
Yeah, I was sitting next to Pablo with the tweet, being like, okay, I have the tweet, it's ready, we just need to press publish. And it was like 2 minutes ahead, and it was like, we've never been so much ahead. What do we do now? We have to wait.
What do we do with this extra time? Learn a
Yeah,
new
because
language?
normally you're just late, so you have to type it and publish it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we had Vimeo, Facebook, YouTube, and also the website, the agent327.com was pointing to the live stream. So we had to change the website as well to point to the actual video. And
so
tweet
pressing a
about
live button is a little bit of a simplification.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
at
not
this
like
point-
one switch.
Yeah.
It's like
I,
a bunch.
I remember when we did it for Cosmos, I think. Well, for Caminandes too, but it was just like, okay, on YouTube, just go click, publish, okay, done.
Yeah.
Everybody tweets and stuff like that. This was much more organized. And on top of that, of course, we had like a number of websites that were standing by waiting for us to publish it so that then they could break the news as well, which then I think helped quite a bit to get the momentum going in the communication and spreading the word that the film was out. And
So you could say that's something you learned for this project, right?
Ooh.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, I think maybe we learned it from the previous projects because, like, in the days after, we were looking at the stats to see how the film was doing, and you could really see that the reception of the film was much wider compared to other films that we did before, and that was mostly because of that. And I think when we did Cosmos Laundromat, especially, which had a great critical review. As you would say, like, critics really loved it. Like, people really appreciated the artistic value. Of course, people can complain about suicidal ships and whatever, but, it is being so much appreciated. When we were in LA for SIGGRAPH, and that's when the film went out, we got so many compliments and people approaching us from animation studios, just saying how they liked it. But yeah, we just published it. And that was it. So
it
was
really didn't go viral.
Yeah, it was really limited, and maybe it was the content, the format, the way the film was. Is not a 3-minute high-end packed, action-packed clip, but still, I think it could have done much better. But we were literally until the last minute wrapping this up and launching it while we were doing something else. Yeah. So that was, I think, indeed a lesson learned. But I'm mentioning all this because I wanted to get to the point of, okay, we published it, and then the reactions started to come. Because
by that you mean YouTube comments?
Yeah. So
they're their own thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's like, it was fun because we got so many positive comments. So like, I want to really thank everybody who took the time to just write a line.
Let me check how many. I'm gonna check how many.
And even share the film. So many people have shared it right now.
Yeah. Just like, thank you for taking the time to give us, nice words. The thing that I liked the most, it was that, some comments, they were like, okay, great work. Or like, when is the movie coming out? Yeah. And those were also nice because, of course, it means people are engaged, but people actually took the time to write sentences.
Yeah.
A sentence saying what they liked about the film, and everybody liked a different thing, or like everybody had their own angle. And that was so nice. I hadn't seen it in a long time. And that was very good. I was really happy to see that.
I will admit that I did read some of the YouTube comments, and it's YouTube comments. So there's a certain amount of assholery that you would expect.
I expected, actually.
Yeah, the ratio is incredibly positive, which I never expected. And usually when I read a sentence from a YouTube
that
comment,
is longer, is like,
that's kind of long. Yeah, it's always starting with positive, and then I'm waiting for however, and then blah blah blah, total shit, everything sucks or whatever. And I kept waiting for. I read a lot of them that were just like positive. Oh, jeez, that's gonna be a hard fall. Positive, and then it just kind of ended. I'm like, what? That was totally positive all the way through.
That's more or less. Yeah, that's how I felt too. And then, of course, I mean, there are a few pearls that they were like...
Haters gonna hate.
But it's nothing. It's really... I'm looking at the likes. 6,000 likes.
Yeah.
How many dislikes do you think?
It's like 38.
30?
38. Yeah.
38.
Oh, wow.
You're keeping count.
Yeah. You're not looking at the YouTube comments, but...
I'm the only guy not looking at his phone here.
And I don't know, how many bad comments you find? Like 5 max?
Yeah. Something like that.
And there is 462.
Yeah, until the second day, I remember I was counting them, and it was like 5. Literally like 5. They were like, not like, that's nice, however, but it was more like, It's not really good, guys.
They're
Like, you should like, you know.
You should excel on all levels.
Yeah, that is so funny when you're like, yeah, I like the dancing, the lighting, the da-da-da-da-da-da. Like you count up 100 different aspects of whatever it is, and then at the end you go, but that one prop you used, man, you suck. You gotta be good on every level.
Yeah.
Come on,
but
man.
also, of course, the evergreen. This is good as a technical demo.
Yeah,
but
of course.
yeah.
That's always the same.
But that is like really getting away. Like you see, it's really, really little. Like
It is
for
fading
Cosmos,
away, yeah.
Cosmos is was still much more. I think it was because of the novelty of actually having made such an extensive use of the particle system for doing animated grass and hair and Frank and Victor, like all with this wavy hair in the wind. People remembered, oh yeah, you know, they are doing the software. But here, I mean, the amount of R&D and software and stuff that has been happening was equivalent probably, but just more, you know, just people probably got more involved in the film, which is a very good thing. So it was good. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So we did a fight scene with actual blood in it.
There's
Sort of. Yes. Well, I mean, they get hurt, and there's
they get
like
hurt.
violence.
Yeah, they get hurt.
There's
but
no drops of blood. Which
Exactly.
Makes it,
Yeah.
Exactly.
In Cosmos, we did like a bit of music, which we didn't do in any other short.
Oh,
Right?
like yeah.
Like there's actual music. There's a song in the film. It's
And it does feel like its own music video. Really.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a music video. We did live action,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We did
Live action.
an OpenGL movie, a Glass Half. We did a
When I say live action, I mean yes, I wasn't involved, but yes.
yeah. Well, when I say we did, I wasn't involved, but we did.
Yeah.
What's next? We did VR,
Okay.
and when I say we did, you did.
Yeah. We also did llamas on ice.
Yes.
Yes.
Funnily enough, that was a joke way back when, and then we ended up actually
We
doing
did. We
it.
ended
so-
up actually. That's the whole idea of the film.
Yeah. Oh.
We wanted no, like we started like that. It's like okay, Llamas on Ice. We started with that premise.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then-
They don't
what-
sing, but you know.
So what next?
Yeah.
What's next?
well, feature film, which is also
Yeah.
a first.
Yeah. Musical.
no,
we
maybe
never
not.
did a
never did a
musical.
musical,
I
yeah.
know a certain someone here that will love musicals.
Come on, Cosmos is almost. They sing. They're singing ship.
No, I don't remember.
Okay,
yeah,
lyrics,
the
actual lyrics.
actual lyrics.
Yeah, without being abducted by a tornado and strange things happening
not?
to you.
Spoiler alert.
It is done already. I want, you know, like
He
more
wants
of a
real-
like, yeah.
I'm a llama. Llama. yeah.
So yeah, like
Yeah.
happy and, you know, like the llamas fall in love and, you know, everything ends well and
Yeah.
happy music.
Oh,
You guys are gonna hate it.
They keep having to do exposition through the song, but then also explain what their emotion they're going through, even though we've already kind of seen it. Like, you know, he comes in, I'm looking for a haircut. A haircut, you say? A haircut. Haircut. And then 2 minutes later, it's like, a haircut. Yes, it'll be $350, sir. Here, take a seat. Why? Why?
So good. So good. Yeah.
Does he also respond with, is it usually this quiet?
Yeah. Where did all the extras come from? The dancers, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Pablo was also asking just, you know, maybe before delving into feature films, if you had, you know, any passion projects or any other, you know, little things that, you know, in this 1 year when you were forgetting about your friends and your personal life and things like that. You were
Exactly.
like,
Thank you.
there is this one little thing that I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, unless Mathieu used to be a suicidal sheep, I don't think any of the movies are like, this is a personal story to me. This is like my personal, you know, if you think about it, the Agent 227, it's like it's an IP. It's not, it didn't come from somebody here as like, I was raped at a barbershop or whatever, you know, it's not or whatever, I don't know. It's like a horrific thing that happened to you and you need to get it out
You
there.
could have said you had a bad haircut.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant. That's not what I meant, but
Okay,
yeah.
no, yeah, I'm trying to picture now.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I mean, Caminandes, it's fun and it comes from your like experience with llamas, but it's not really like you are the llama and you feel like you know, it's.
Wait.
Or
What?
is it? Is it a metaphor
didn't
for your
want it-
life?
No.
Wow.
No, actually,
Changes
no.
everything.
Yeah, the way I look
No,
at Pablo.
I don't identify. If that's what you mean, I don't identify myself as Coral.
Yeah.
I think Coral is its own living entity.
Yeah. Poor guy.
At some point, I mean, there might be I don't know, cameo. It can be like something else, a little, something everybody hates, like a little.
If he ever
Mosquito?
meets a little boy, can it be little Pablito? Tiny little Pablo in his childhood.
How tiny though? Because Korra is small.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, I mean, no, it's not small. It's like 160,
like
160 something.
Oh,
So Pablito is like
Yeah,
6 years old,
kinda
maybe
like 6, yeah. 7 or so. Maybe he needs to know his way around at least. Yeah, maybe maybe there could be.
That could be cute.
No, so what's your point? Like,
I
are you making a movie about yourself?
Oh yeah, it's about an orphan that fights crimes over the weekends. No, nobody's ever done that. By the way.
They usually do that full time, actually.
Man, I can't devote that amount of time, really. I have shit to animate.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Well, I mean, what about you guys? Is there anything in particular that you're thinking about?
well, I would love to make a video clip for my band with
Oh,
the
of
Institute. Like to have an actual good-looking real video clip instead of the stuff we do is just stuffing a
Oh, come
GoPro
on.
You're
Shooting yourself with a GoPro, getting hit in the face is pretty epic for a music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun though, walking around Amsterdam with a GoPro on your head, asking random women if they want to slap you in the face.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
was
true.
amazingly difficult to get slapped in the face.
I saw that
People are
music
just too
video
nice.
and I couldn't stop thinking like, okay, if this had been like a real rock and roll a group of assholes, you would have said something that would inspire the thing to come naturally. You would be like, hey, and like pinching her, ass or whatever. But you could see that just before the cut, you had asked them politely, hey, like, would you mind,
One of the slaps is actually from a girl who was uncomfortable slapping one of us.
Okay.
But she felt comfortable slapping her boyfriend. So we put the GoPro on his head. And he was the receiver.
Wow, no way.
Wow.
Wow, that
She was saving that. I enjoyed so much.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend like wasn't even there listening to a conversation. He just comes out of the bathroom and there's a random guy putting a GoPro on his head.
Take this.
Why? What did I do?
Okay, it wasn't recording again.
Let me turn that on. All right, there we go. That's cool. So Andy, did you have?
Gonna make an
I had
Andy
little
3D?
birds whispering in my ears that you may have a couple of ideas, kind of building up in there.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Possible, yeah.
Maybe put that on a cliffhanger.
I haven't directed a Blender film yet.
Yeah, I am excited about seeing that. Dude, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Hype.
Hype.
Hashtag.
Hype.
No,
Hype.
hashtag
Hype.
subdued hype.
Yeah.
Wow, you captured it in one word. That's great. How do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be great. That would be awesome. Well, for an audio podcast, you're remaining very silent on the issue.
It's a silent shrug.
All right. Fair enough. So, should we go on to any questions or anything like that? Is there like a buildup of questions happening
Well,
there? Or?
I'm checking. Like, actually, there isn't like a lot of discussions happening. Like, mostly we were getting some question when we talked about the cloud and flamenco. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go on the flamenco.io website. And there you can read more about the status of the project and see what is happening. And get in touch with us. There are all the ways for other ways to get all the ways to get connected with us. And
But I think we're on time.
yeah, I think that from we are gonna post this again on the Blender Cloud website. So if you have any questions there, please let us know. Also, if you've seen the film and if you want to ask us something about it, please do. And then I think we will be back maybe in a couple of weeks, like with another episode of the.
Maybe in a couple. Yeah. Okay. No, come on.
We're gonna keep it now by weekly, right?
Yeah, we don't have a movie going on now.
Yeah.
We could afford to.
We have
do it.
no excuses now.
Exactly.
No excuses.
Yeah, let's do it. And we are gonna like take the format in a little bit more thematic thing, right?
Yeah. because that's something we've been asking ourselves since our yearly anniversary, our 50th anniversary.
Well, it's 52 today, so it's actually a full year.
Yeah.
We skipped so much, but,
Yeah.
but if we would have kept,
If we would have.
but because we started with these ideas of now we review movies, and then what is your favorite Blender shortcut, and then what is that was nice. Maybe we can bring
reviewing
that
a
up back.
Pixar movie. And
Exactly. So that was indeed something that we thought in the last episode was starting to drag down a bit, and we want to make it more fresh and get one theme and discuss it. And we hope that this will make it interesting and exciting again.
And if people can think of a topic,
Yeah,
let us know.
bring the topic on the comments below. Size on the side, or I don't know where you're watching this.
People
Comments below.
calling out for Andy for director and
Yeah.
Andy for president.
Hashtag.
For president, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well then I think that is it for this episode, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for following us, and see you next time.
Yeah.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Ciao.
You've been listening to the Blender Institute Animation. I don't know what. Who are we? Cloud Studio Podcast, brought to you by the Blender Cloud. Do you have a loose grip on collected nouns? Join a ton of Blender heads on the cloud. Go to cloud.blender.org. That was good. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I like how one certainty is the Blender Cloud, though.
The what?
The Blender Cloud.
Yeah, of course.
That
You gotta
is
keep-
Cloud.
You gotta keep that.
I'm Blender itself.
all right,
Yeah.
so we are done.
We're done.
You're done.
Bye.
Bye.
And the live stream is still going. You're cutting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the live stream now. So thank you very
So
much.
wave in 3D.
See you. 3D spinning. Bye. Wait.
Wait, there's while Susanne appears.
Wait.
Glasses away.
There you go.
Yes,
Waving Suzanne. Bye.
waving.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you don't move a 3D camera.
Stop it.